Got my helper here today. Are you gonna help? Are you gonna help? Are you? Let's get busy then. Now, I don't know if I covered it in an earlier video. I'll show you that wingtip tip. Not the leading edge. That's that part. I forgot the name of there. Here's the wingtip sanded down on that corner wingtip that I did. I put that filler piece in, sanded it all down, and now that's nice and smooth. And I am going to, that's the piece that goes on there. I am going to build a piece of plywood, just to use that stuff, and just put on top there, right across, up to there, and that will provide a ton of strength for that little tip that's going to sit on the outside of your wing, protect it as much as possible, basically from hanger rash is what it is. If you're moving it around the hanger or someone's walking around hitting that, that's the thing that's sticking out the farthest, and that's the smallest, most vulnerable piece of the wing right there. So we'll put some plywood on there and enclose all that, make that a good strong joint. I'm going to add another coat of Varathane to the flap. The aileron, I'm going to Varathane the inside of the cavity where the wingtip is, because we'll put on the wingtip on the front, the cover on the front. I put in a little support for that single piece that is sitting there. I did get some hardware that I'm going to try out, and I'm going to see what happens. I don't know how well this is going to work because my helper doesn't have opposable thumbs, so I've got the camera set up. I bought these little bearings, sealed bearings, and where there's going to be a pin sticking out, I'm going to have this bearing mounted on the L bracket. I'll machine the L bracket so that bearing fits into it. The bearing will fit into the L bracket, which will fit onto the corner here, and I might inset it into the wood there a bit. And then the aileron with its pin will just sit in that bearing, and that will just rotate on that bearing. And I think that's a far better solution than trying to have that pin just into bare metal, where it's metal on metal. That little bearing should provide the perfect solution. It only has to move, a quarter of a turn, however many degrees it is, 20 degrees up, 20 degrees down. And these were really relatively inexpensive. I think they're $4. It's got a little shoulder on it. I'll machine the L bracket so that I'll press into the L bracket. It's not going to go all the way through because of the shoulder on there. And coming back this way, it's limited to the pin. Won't allow it to come back out. So that should work on that. Then, same thing where we have our middle one here. Focus. Come on. So where we've got our middle one, the pin is sticking through here, coming out. So the L bracket is going to be right here, coming out, and that'll press into the L bracket there. All right, we're taping again. This camera really sucks. Coolpix, Nikon, B500, don't buy it. The bearings, 5/16. It's got a little shoulder on it, 4 millimeters thick. I think it's 11 millimeters this way. And I'm just going to press those into the L bracket. I'll machine a hole in the L bracket, the right size to press that into, make it a thou smaller so it'll press in. Then the pin will come through the aileron and slide right onto that. And that should give, it doesn't weigh anything, but it won't be metal on metal. It'll actually be a bearing that is turning on. I just see that as a way better solution than having metal on metal. I don't like the idea of metal on metal, especially something like the aileron that's getting used in flight all the time. Just a little movement, but it's always getting moved every second all the time. So having a bearing just taking up that pressure, I think is the way to go. And having something small like that you can machine a hole into the L bracket and just press it in, that I think is going to work perfectly. All right, so that's that part of the day.